like to welcome you to the 252nd birthday party for the Scottish poet Robbie Burns. We're celebrating this, as they are all over the world, here in the Michael McCormick Gallery in Taos, New Mexico. My name is Sandra Richardson. I'll be introducing you to several very amazing Scottish characters tonight. Artists, musicians, poets. It's going to be a fun evening. And first of all, I'd like you to meet the gallery owner here, Michael McCormick.
Thanks, Sandra. I'm Michael McCormick. I'd like to welcome all of you to this evening's event, and for our international audience, if you click on www.mccormickgallery.com, you can see a live feed of this evening's entertainment. Bagpipers, singing, storytelling, poetry, and a lot of food eating, with a special presentation of the Haggis. Right now, I'd like to ask Angus McDonald, who is one of our star artists in the gallery and also a star bagpiper. Angus, take it away.
Thanks, Michael. Wow, Angus, you look like a handsome devil.
Thank you. I wish I was as good a piper as I look. But I'd like to welcome everybody to this is our third annual Robert Burns get-together here at the McCormick Gallery, and gets bigger and better every year, and I'm glad everybody that's here is here, and everybody that's watching can get on down here and look at some of the art too, especially mine. I got a couple of walls full here.
Actually, we're going to show you those paintings in just a moment. They're wonderful. And stick around, because we're going to explain to you the intricacies of the Haggis. Hi, I'm back, and I'd like to tell you a little bit. Actually, I'd like Angus McDonald to tell you a little bit about the hat I'm wearing. Angus, what's this?
That's called a Glengarry. It's called a Glengarry hat, and it was actually invented by one of my ancestors at Glengarry in Scotland.
Oh my gosh.
And the badge on it is a badge from the Cameronian pipers.
Meaning bagpipers.
Right.
And you're going to be playing, I think he had a bigger head than me. You're going to be playing the bagpipes later.
Yeah, a little bit. And I'll play a little bit, and Doc will play probably more than me, because he's better than I am and knows more tunes. And then at the end of the program this evening, the last thing that we'll play is Amazing Grace, which I'm going to dedicate to a good friend of mine out in Los Angeles, and we do that one together, and we play it actually 3 times, and one of us, whichever, plays through the first time, and then the second time we play it together, and on the third time I play it straight, and he plays a harmony on it, and it sounds really neat. And maybe after that, Auld Lang Syne.
Right. Well, I was surprised to learn, and I don't know if everyone else already knows this, that Robbie Burns actually wrote the song and the poem Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah, he did, for sure. I didn't know that either until recently. He wrote a lot of things that I have, been fairly familiar with over the years, that I had no idea who wrote them, but now I know. So.
Yeah. So this is really exciting. So if you're not familiar with Robbie Burns, stick around, because during this evening you're going to find out all sorts of interesting little tidbits, and maybe a bit about, I believe Robbie was a bit of a ladies' man.
He might have been. I don't know. He's a good-looking fella, so...
And we'll have a few ladies' men here for you to meet tonight, too, as we go around the group that's amassing as we speak. It's going to be a really fun evening, so hang in there. I also heard that Bob Dylan was influenced by Robbie Burns. So this is really, even if you're not Scottish, you can be Scottish for tonight.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Angus.
Thank you.
Wow, I tell you, the Scots are coming out of the Taos woodwork here, and the kilts are flying, or whatever kilts do.
We hope not.
That's right.
So I'm here with, did you say a real Scot?
Oh, I'm a real Scot, yes. Roderick Ewing.
And you were born in Scotland?
I was born in Dundee, which is northeast Scotland. Very cold winds up there.
Okay, so you're here in the tropics of New Mexico now.
The tropics, yes.
Yes.
And your name is?
Roderick Ewing. My mother was a Cameron, that's why I'm wearing this Cameron tartan.
You notice this one too.
Yes?
This is the modern Cameron.
Oh, is that the modern?
That's from my mother's side.
Now, this is what they call a reproduction. And they say they dug up the old kilts on the field of Culloden and copied the colours. So
Wow.
that's why it looks a bit like it's been buried for a long time.
Now, is that different to a weathered kilt, which is another pattern that I was just hearing about? He
I would
said
say
it was
this is probably the same.
a weathered.
Yeah, it's probably weathered, because if you imagine it's been buried in the ground for 100 years. It
I
would
know
be
I'd be weathered.
pretty weathered, yeah.
And you are playing for us now. You two. You two were having a conversation about the bagpipes earlier. I wonder if you could share just a snippet of the insight into the origin of the instrument and what it was that you were explaining or discussing about bagpipes.
All right. I will give the version of history briefly, and perhaps you can correct me.
Oh, okay.
But I heard the story that these came from the Anatolian plain somewhere around 600 years BC, something of that nature, where a shepherd, probably quite bored, but very creative, tied off the legs of a sheepskin and the neck and attached some reeds, probably, with vibrating reeds also attached, and thus began the bagpipes.
Oh my God. Bad news for the sheep, good news for us.
Yes, but here we are today with the Gore-Tex bag. Yeah, modern. And this is the blowpipe. You blow through this to inflate the bag, put it under the arm, and with that reservoir of air, squeezed as needed, the three reeds in these drones vibrate and make a steady state noise. One bass and two tenors. And then you have a double reed here also, and the chanter it's called. And then you have the notes that are, notes that are played by the fingering, and off you go.
So it's kind of like a flute with a amplifier. No, maybe not.
Well, a flute, what I know about a flute is it actually does not have a reed. Now, this is a reed instrument. More like, let's say, a clarinet or an oboe.
Oboe.
An oboe.
An oboe, now we've got it.
No, the oboe has a kind of double reed. I've never played an oboe, but that's what it's like. And this is called the chanter, which is kind of the singer. It plays the melody. And these are the drones. This is a constant sound, but it really is tuned to this and gives a lot of depth to the sound. It gives...
Yes.
The pipe itself is a very piercing sound, but this mutes it down and gives that rather peaceful sound to it, I think.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Would you like me to give a demonstration?
I would love that, but just before you do, are you tartan bipolar here? Now what's going on?
She doesn't miss a trick, does she?
She doesn't miss a thing.
I can see that those don't match.
I played in the bagpipe band in Hawaii for 12 years. And these are their colors and their tartan.
I don't know if you can see, but we're just talking about the fact that he's got two different tartans going on here, which, we don't want you to get away with any Scottish crime of tartan nature.
Our band had to get special permission because this is Black Watch. And the Black Watch is held very closely. It's to the military regiments. And each of them, of course, they have pipe bands. But we obtained permission, and so that's why I have these on. And then this is as we said, in honor of my mother's family, the modern Cameron, and his is the more traditional.
Wowee, this is...
We both have mothers that are Camerons then.
Yes, perhaps they were related somewhere back there.
Somewhere
Your
back there, yes.
brothers from a different mother.
Yes.
All right, thank you, and let's hear some beautiful music.
Well, I'll first of all demonstrate the drones. And you try to strike the drones so there's no squeaking, but just the drones kick in and then maybe come in with the chanter. A little bit of how they work.
It looks very complicated.
It's said that these are the most difficult instrument of all to learn to play.
I believe it. There's a lot of different bits. I mean, just
Yes.
learning how to hold it looks like a little bit of a challenge.
And you need a bit of a wind also.
A bit of a wind, I'd say. Wow. Well, you better go wet your whistle, and thank you very much for that demonstration.
Well, you're welcome.
That was fun.
Good. All right, we'll have more later.
Goody. This thing is really complicated.
Scotland the Brave.
Wow.
Scotland the Brave, all right.
Scotland the Brave.
If you can't play that, you can't play anything.
Ah, that's right. Can you play the Road to the Isles?
How does it go?
Let's see. Da 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 dum ba da 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 dum da dum bum 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 ba da 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 bum. Well, that's the chorus. The verse goes.
The Sky Boat song is easier.
They're going to do that later.
Oh, they are?
So don't steal their...
Yeah, I used to be able to play that. It's really nice. Rum-ba-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee. Is that it? I don't know. We'll just have to see.
All right.
I don't assault your ears anymore.
Thank you. Now you've got a son watching, but he's performing in an opera
Yeah,
somewhere.
my son is in Manhattan in the Magic Flute. He's a basso, and I called and said, wherever you are, put the TV on live. And I also called his wife with the 2 little kids at home to watch it. So,
So do you want to wave?
hi,
Hi.
I'm half Scottish.
You were telling me an interesting story
Which one?
about your family.
Yeah, my
and
mother's.
your tartan.
Right. My mother's family came over before the American Revolution from Scotland. The names were Duncan and Campbell, and they lived in North Carolina. And I went to Alaska for a couple years and tried to play this wonderful instrument, but they give you a tiny little pipe, the chanter, and it felt like it was blowing my brains out, so I gave it. I'm a pianist. I'm a finger person. But I am trying to be. I'm wearing, a plaid scarf, and this was my tablecloth, my Christmas tablecloth. So I thought, why not just throw it over my shoulder and become part of this?
I think the Scottish tonight is in the spirit of being
Right.
Scottish. So whether you really are or you aren't, if your heart's in Scotland with Robbie Burns and the whole wonderfully rich culture of Scotland tonight, you're a Scot.
And I was in Scotland years ago to the Highland Games up in northern Scotland, and there's nothing like watching all those pipers and competitions and dancing, and I just love pipes.
Yeah.
It's my thing. I have a weakness for pipes, so I better stay away from some of these people. Thank you.
Have a good time tonight, Manny. Oh my goodness. It looks like they're a challenge to play, is all I can say. Wowee. And we're going to have more and some dancing coming up in a moment. So enjoy the crowd. I'll see you later.
Well, I thought they wanted to see a little bit of action because it.
This painting right here is a painting that I just finished, and it's called The Wedding Party. When I do these paintings, I don't, I'm not a life painter. I don't go outside and paint, and I don't paint from photographs. I paint strictly from memory and from my weird imagination. And so when I start painting, I just put a blank canvas up there and look at it for a minute, and then I start painting.
Sandra and Angus.
Wow.
Sandra, would you introduce Rick Romancito, editor of Tempo, so everybody in the international world can see him? Maybe you could take a picture of it.
Well, this is a change. Hello, Rick. This is Rick Romancito. For all of you international people, this is the man who writes about every Taos art event that's worth mentioning in this town. So he's the hero of artists in Taos, New Mexico. Would you like to say a word to the world?
I'm just here covering the event, and I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's always a blast. So I hope everybody has a great time.
Now, would I be right in assuming that you're not Scottish?
Not in the least. Not even a tiny bit.
Not even a little, nobody jumped the fence?
Not as far as I know.
And what is your heritage?
I'm Native American.
Native American from Taos Pueblo. For those of you who don't know, that's here in Taos. It's the only continuously occupied site.
It's one of the oldest.
One of the oldest, okay. And it's a living World Heritage site.
Right.
So there's yet another reason for you to come visit Taos, New Mexico.
Plus, it's a beautiful place.
And you'll get to meet the relatives of Rick Romancito. Thanks, Rick. I'm Irish, by the way.
Oh, you are?
I am. So, would I be correct in assuming that you are a fan of Van Gogh?
I'm a fan of just about all of the post-impressionist painters, and that's when I started painting when I was 17 years old. That's who I studied. I studied all the post-impressionist painters, and that's probably how I learned to paint. And so probably people see different influences in my work. You know, I have people coming in, and I had someone come in once and said, your work reminds me so much of Pablo Picasso, and I thought, wow, I don't know. And you know,
Who was not Scottish.
Not Scottish, no. But yeah, a lot of people see a Van Gogh influence in some of my brush strokes, and I think mostly what they see is the heavy paint that I use, and they know that he did that. But I think I have pretty much my own style of painting. You know, it's kind of a combination of a whole lot of different styles. You know.
Well, it's very beautiful, and I know when I went on Michael McCormick's website, where you can go and see all the artists that Michael represents, including Angus's work, I was very impressed, and there are certain paintings that definitely have a kind of flow and a light and kind of lyrical quality that reminded me very much of in the style of Vincent, and they're very beautiful, Angus.
Oh, thank you.
So please go check them out. We'll show you some up close and personal now in a minute, like right now.
This painting is called The Wedding Party, and it was I had no plan to do this painting when I started it. It just the elements in it just appeared as I was working, and that's the way all my paintings are. They kind of come together out of nothingness. And like a friend of mine used to say, sometimes the magic works and sometimes it doesn't. But as I get older, I think it works more often than it does not. So this is Michael McCormick. He's the guy that owns this place, and this is his son over here.
We're gonna, since we're live streaming, my wife and my son's mother is in Japan, and we just wanted to say hi to her. And then there's some other folks that want to say hi. Robbie?
Hi, Mom. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year's.
Say hi to Miko.
Hi, Miko. How are you doing? We miss you. Say hi, River. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Stephanie, come on.
You're shy? Come here. Come on,
Here,
Stacey.
just. Oh yeah. Here, just say hi, Yumiko.
Hi, Yumiko. Oh, hi, Yumiko. How are you? Say hi, Yumiko.
Hi, Miko.
Did he say?
Yeah, did he say it?
Yeah, no, he said I'm shy.
This is Al.
Hi, amico. Hope all is well. We're having a great time here.
So if you're seeing this, give us a call. This is the first time we've done this, so it's a kind of a new experience for us, but it's sort of fun. I'm going to hand this back to Angus or I'll hand it back to Sandra.
Thank you. How about that? What a cute family. Wow. This is really an international occasion, so I hope you're having as much fun as we are. There are some people here. John? I'd like to just give you a sense of some of the people who are coming to this event.
I did, thanks.
So,
This is John.
this is John. John.
The Scottish John.
The very Scottish John.
Yes.
John was telling me earlier about his connection to Robbie Burns. So would you like to tell the rest of the world about your
Well, it's interesting in my family, on my grandfather's side, my sister has done a history, and we find out that a Stuart, S-T-U-A-R-T, married an S-T-E-W-A-R-T, and we happen to be related to Mary Queen of Scots. So that goes back a long way. Plus, we have lots of McDonalds in our family, and and a few other Scotch. We seem to have stuck with the Scotch. And my family came over to Tilsonburg in Ontario back in the 1800s.
Wow.
And I have actually a clock that was my great-great-great-grandfather's, and I have also all of the watches from all of my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather. So we collect a lot of things, and being a true Scotsman, I still have a 25, and it's called a shin plaster, paper dollar bill, and it says the first money ever taken in by milling by the Stewart family.
Wow.
So that goes back to 1876.
So that's a reminder that the Scots are a little frugal?
Well, frugal and long living. I think my grandmother was 105. My great-grandmother was 100. Both my aunts lived over 100. So I'm hoping to make it myself.
Well, I
Anyway,
hope you do too.
It's
And
good to be back in Taos.
It is. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
So we have some real Scottish people here for those of you in Scotland. Even though you're not here, you're well represented. And even though John isn't in a kilt, he's Scottish blue blood through and through.
Through and through.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very
have a
much.
good evening.
Thank you. You
I
too.
bet you're looking forward to the haggis.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You can only do it twice, and then somebody at the top starts. You follow? All right.
Sounds a little complicated to me.
Short-term memory loss.
Do you know whether you're the first couple or the third couple or the whatever?
I believe we're still the first couple, but for some other reason, everybody else's numbers changed, but ours didn't change. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think when you get to the top, you become a 1 again. But so it does change if you work your way up to the top.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's still 2.
So in a regular 4-couple set, the people who start off as first couple will dance it with a couple below them. The dance will move them down one place. You've got a couple to dance with, so you do it again. The dance moves you down one place, and guess what? You have another couple to dance with, so you do it again. That puts you at the bottom with nobody to dance with, and it's your turn to rest. Every time you've got somebody below you, you start. Okay? So at some point, when somebody starts from here dancing with this couple, somebody also starts from there dancing with a couple below them. Now we have to do this early in the evening before you have any whiskeys, right? So you can keep this all straight.
Little late.
Oh, is it? Well, we'll do the best you can. All right, so let me just review, because I've jabbered so long you might have forgotten what to do. You're starting with wheels, and then you turn your partner by the right and back by the left. Then first couple, followed by second couple, dance down the middle, and then up again to new places, and then circle around and back. And we need 8 times through. We need 8 times through a medley of jigs, reels, whatever quick time you've got.
So I'm going to start with, let's see, Gravel Rose and Jackie Collins. And that should get you 8 right there. Awesome. 1,000 curtsies on the chord.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So start,
I hit lots of people.
Start wherever we started the second repetition of the dance. Let's start wherever we started the second repetition. All right, ready?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You may be getting the idea. This is not as easy as it looks.